Some guy reached out to me who's my biological dad and I'm 20m, freaking out. My parents are still married, by the way, so that's why it's got me more freaked out. I didn't believe this guy at first when he says he might be my biological dad because he just randomly messaged me on Facebook, but he was telling me he knew my mom cause they went to school together and even mentioned her high school. And then when I mentioned his name to my mom, she started crying. She swore he's making up me being his because they only kissed once, but she begged me not to tell Dad. That got me more suspicious and I heard the guy out. He told me they met up once and then a few months later he found out she was married and pregnant. But she told him he wasn't the father because according to her she already knew she was pregnant when she cheated on my dad. But he say he was always suspicious. And he decided to get some pie to find me once he knew I was a legal adult so my mom can't say anything or keep me from him. Then just when he finally saw me and seen all our similarities, he knew he could be my dad. I didn't want to see it in the beginning, but yeah, there's lots of similarities and I hate it. We went to a lab place to do a paternity test and I got the results a couple days ago. I'm his son. You have no idea how much that fucked me up. I threw up and then I cried for like an hour. Now I gave the proof to my mom. And again she puts on the show of her being in tears. She knows she caught. I told her to tell me everything. But I didn't say that I talked to him about it just because I want to see if what she says lines up with his version of stuff. And looks like it is. She lied to them both. My dad doesn't know I'm not his. And the guy didn't find out about her being married until after when she lied to him about my dad being the one who got her pregnant. And she's being so fucked up about it. When we talked I gave her that line, either you tell him or I will, and she told me then guess it's gonna have to be you because I'm not going to break his heart. For the first time in my life I called her a fucking selfish bitch. Now it's on me, but it's hitting me now that I don't know if I can do it. This whole thing's kept me up for days. I haven't gone to visit my parents because I'm not sure if I could look at my dad's face with this lie still going. But it feels like once it's out there I'm gonna lose him. Haven't stopped crying since then. I have this guy, bio dad, telling me he's so sorry and let him know if I need something. It's too confusing. What do I do? I think the non-bio dad deserves to know the truth. Even if it hurts. FK your mom. I'm a father who has gone through this op. He deserves to know. My advice: take him out to dinner. Don't bring it up at a place, activity you both enjoy spending time with, because it will taint it. He will be devastated, but given the time I believe he will come around. Give him reassurance that you feel no different about him. If this is the case. But he needs to know. The man who raised you as your dad. Even though it isn't biologically. I hurt for what you're going through. I would try to tell him in a safe place. Just you both. Don't let your mom's theatrics take away from what you want to say. That you love him. And you're sorry to be the one to tell him. And you still want and need him in your life. And that you don't plan on having contact with your mom. Assuming all that's true. Of course. And good luck. This will be the most difficult thing you've done most likely. Your mom is hoping you won't tell him. That's why she's goading you with, go ahead and break his heart, trying to making you the bad guy. When she's the one who screwed up. Holy shit. That's rough. I'd tell him and let the pieces fall where they will. Maybe you'll end up with two dads. I'm so sorry. I hope you and your dad are able to preserve your relationship. He brought you up and you love him and no one can take that from him. He will be devastated by the news just as you were, so tell him how much you love him and how he'll always be your dad. Wow. Your mom is a bitch. You will not break his heart. Your mom is the one responsible. Do you have any siblings? You need to tell him and tell him how you feel about him and how mad you are at your mom. He is your dad, just not your bio dad. What does bio dad want? A relationship with you? Your father deserves to know the truth. Sit him down with your mother, tell him, since she won't. To quote a great philosopher, he may have been your father, boy, but he wasn't your daddy. This should not change how anything is between you and your dad. He raised you. Was there when you first cried? He's your dad. He deserves to know, and he will need you there just as much as you need him during this ugly time. As far as your bio father, that is up to you to decide on if you want him in your life. Update please when you get a chance. Do it. My sister and I just went through this 3 years ago when we got ancestry kits for ex-Moss. I'm my father's daughter, but my sister is not. If you need someone to talk to with experience with this, feel free to reach out. I was 27 and my sister was 20. So you can talk to both of us, or I can put you into contact with her. You have to tell him. Your mother is to blame, but your non-bio dad needs to know what she did. Just get it over with. Paternity fraud is the worst thing a woman can do to a man, and this is why DNA tests should be mandatory before a father's name is put on the birth certificate. My dad isn't my real dad. He always knew and never treated me differently to my brother and sister. My mom told me when I was 14 and I went completely off the rails. She made me promise to never tell my dad I knew. He had made her promise they'd tell me together. They were divorced at the time. And TBH, that screwed me up more than anything. Carrying that secret alone killed me. My bio father wanted nothing to do with me. I was a product of their affair. I tell you this so you know I understand what you're going through. The devastation it causes is unbelievable. The best thing I did was admit to my dad I knew. It was so hard. I thought he'd walk away, but he never did. He loves me. I know it's not exactly the same, but until things were in the open I couldn't move forward. I couldn't trust anyone. I know how scared you are, but I honestly believe family is what you choose and he will choose you. I wish for strength and love. You will get through this. Your mother's actions caused this pain. Don't let her manipulate it to guilt you. Both you and your father are innocent. She's the one who lied every day for 20 years. That's on her, and the consequences are hers to bear too. If you love your father, it's going to be hard. But he needs to know. And he is your father. He has been your father for 20 years. Nothing can change that. The other guy. Well, personally I would have loved if this happened to me. But I don't talk to my father and hates his guts because he disowned me for looking too much like my mother, so he apparently can't look at my ugly face, woozy face. I want to take one of those DNA kits. 23andMe. To see if I have another father out there. I'm a middle child and am the one looking less like our father. Like not at all. But I'm living my life with the motto, any man can be a father. But it takes someone special to be a daddy. I think you'd really benefit from some counseling or therapy. You need time to process and cope. I know you may want to address this quickly. But perhaps give it some time to make sure you're in the right headspace to address this with your dad. You will get through this with light on the other side. Your mother is godawful. She's probably expecting that you won't tell because you don't want to hurt your dad like that. Don't let her manipulation get to you. Your dad deserves to know. Just default paternity tests to avoid this. You should have this boundary. I don't think you'll lose your dad, bud. Your mom might, but you won't. As difficult as this may be, your father deserves to know. You're not the one breaking his heart. Your mom did that all on her own. She's placing blame on you because she isn't ready to accept responsibility for her mistakes. Your mom is a coward because she doesn't want to blow her comfortable life up. Your dad deserves to know. You need to unburden yourself of this stress that is not yours to carry.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.